where at. This is your man, my way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, you know what time is flying by. It is, we just got maybe a couple more weeks left in October. It's gonna be November. It's Christmas. And I think, God, it just seems like why time is flying. Oh, I'm sorry, I used the wrong moniker. It is the emperor of female combat sports. I don't, it's been a long time since I got to use the emperor of female combat sports because most of my content is bodybuilding. I enjoyed getting the opportunity to talk to women in the sport of mixed martial arts, combat sports. We had this lady, and she's from the UK, and she is a bare knuckle fighter. She's been fighting for quite some time. I mean, it's bare knuckle. If you know the PKFC is a very popular organization. It's almost like rival in UFC. And quite a few UFC fighters have been there. So it's a great opportunity to speak with her. As you know, I am an international player, as my man Jim likes to say, from the Himalayas. So, so we'd like to welcome the lovely Miss Melanie Shah. And thank you, ma'am, for the time you've given us. And what got you started in this sport of violence and blood? What got you into it?
It's just always been a passion that I've had since I was growing up, and it's never been like a viable sport until very recently. So when it just started coming up, I just took the opportunity and just got involved.
Yeah, I think BKFC, bare knuckles getting a lot of popular. Like she used, it used to be back in the day, it was well known, but then boxing evolved from that because they had
Yeah,
the rules, the weight classes. It used to be back in the day, the guys used to fight like 100 rounds.
yeah,
And it's tough. Like I said, you are married, you have 3 kids, and that's what and that's a lot to be a mom and to be a wife
yeah,
and still fight.
yeah. It is a lot. I mean, like I've got 3 kids, and I also homeschool them. So I'm like full time with everything, and then I fit my training in, and then I go and fly off and fight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Have any kids come see your fights, or you say, "Nah, mom, I don't see my mom get busted up."
Well, unfortunately, I mean, apart from our first one, the rest of them have been in America, and we haven't flown over at the same time because schools and everything going on, and so they haven't been able to see me fight. But they always watch online, so
That's
they
good.
do
That's pretty
watch,
cool.
but just not they don't get to actually see it live.
Yeah. So, and you're also married, and what's your husband's name? How long y'all been together?
So my husband's Habib, and we've been together 20 years, and he also trains me, so we're really close and we're together all the time as well. So it works really well.
That's pretty good. And like I said, I don't know if, as a man, why I want to see my wife get into something like bare knuckle fighting. And I don't know, see her get busted up.
Mhm.
Does he work at your corners, or he's just like he's off? He's sitting there with his hands on his face, going like this.
No, he works my corners, and I think if he didn't understand how much I love it, then he would find it really hard. But I think because I love it so much, and it's what I really want to do, and then he sees how hard I train, I just think that that's why he supports me. If he didn't think I liked it as much as I do, then maybe he'd have a problem with it. But you know, and I heal it really
Yeah,
fast, so I'm good.
yeah, it's good that you have the sport because I know, especially
Yeah.
this sport. I know, like I watched some BKFC. I know some fighters here and there. Actually, I interviewed one of your opponents a while
Hmm.
back, and that is the current champ, Britton Hart.
Yeah.
And y'all two are not too, it's funny how in the fight y'all hug each other, but then other things are different. So,
Well, for me, I was cool after the fight. Even like I lost and I took it how a fighter should, and we hugged it out, and I thought there was respect there, but um she switched, but it's probably she switched because she snapped her hand, and so she had to go into surgery, and then she was out of fighting, and then she lost out on going to Thailand, which basically was because she was in the because she got into a fight with me. So I just think she blamed me for it, and then she got really like she switched completely on me, and then the respect was gone. So, but I always respected her. I had no problem with her. I took the loss, and we hugged and we chatted afterwards, and we even messaged a bit on the phone. And then when she switched on me, I just thought, well, screw you.
Yeah, it's sad, like
Ah,
this is a sport
there's,
where there's like good rivalries and bad rivalries
yeah,
where you can respect the fighter and their passion, and like I said,
yeah,
it's tough, especially for I would say for women in general, any kind of sport.
hmm,
Because I do, like I said, most of my content is on bodybuilding, and that's why a friend of mine he really got me into reaching out and doing content, and then I started reaching out to women in bodybuilding and female combat sports, and I really is a fan. I respect what
yeah.
your ladies do. Well, here we got my man. Shout out to my man KL the Wanderer. He's come through. He says, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, brother?"
Hey.
And when was your first fight, and what was it like for you that first time?
So my first fight was only about 2 years ago, and that was in Newcastle, and that was amazing. I mean, like, just I loved every part of it. I got the win, and I just went on from there, and just wanted to do it ever since.
Yeah, that's you gotta respect that. I know
Mhm.
it's tough. Getting that ring and you face this opponent. And who's that
Yeah.
opponent you fought? What was your opponent?
So my first opponent was Matilda Wilson, and she was from Sweden, and so we fought in the UK in Newcastle, and that was the first proper UK event. So I was the first one on that, and then and it was a really good fight. I mean, like I think it was almost fight of the night because it was so good. So just really went on from there.
Yeah, Friday night's pretty good. Especially, it's hard for
Yeah,
women to get that kind of recognition
yeah,
because most time you go to a fight, everybody wants to see the guys.
yeah,
It's just nature to see men fight because I say
hmm,
this quite often. The purpose of man's life is to breed, battle, and die. That's it.
hmm,
But women, y'all supposed to be our nurturers. You take care of our children. You take
yeah,
care of our homes. You are the hearts to us as
yeah,
men. You are support. But like I said again, it's tough seeing, like especially seeing like your husband Habib watching you getting hit and kids seeing you like
hmm,
that. I mean, I like I said, it's just a lot to do this sport.
yeah. It is, but I mean, like, I agree with you on that the woman's role, and I feel like I do both because I'm like all about being a mom and being a wife, and as I say, I homeschool my kids, so I've always been like full time with everything, and then I do the fighting as well, but that is kind of second to my family life. But I get to do both because my husband supports me, and so he helps me, and so we do everything together.
It's good. Here's a comment from my man KL. He says, uh, he says, "Did you fight outside the UK or not yet?" Well, she has. She has
Yeah,
done a couple of fights outside the UK.
yeah,
And, one of the biggest fights was with,
yeah,
Britain Hart. And then there was supposed to be another fight, but this time was in boxing, and it was with
yeah,
Chevelle Halsback. And Chevelle been
yeah.
in the game for a long time. What happened
Mhm.
with that?
Well, the thing is like again, I was really excited about that fight because she's got such a great record and she's been in the game a long time. Um, the fight was agreed, and I signed a contract, and it was all agreed. I flew over, and then the day of the weigh-in, I got told that she pulled out, and she pulled
Mm,
out for like really a crap reason. She kind of said like she wasn't aware of who I was properly when she agreed to fight, and I wasn't basically on her level, which is strange. Then show up and prove yourself, but she backed out, and she kind of showed to everyone that knew her that she kind of pussied out really because I turned up. I flew over from the UK, and she didn't let me know until weigh-in day. So they couldn't even get a replacement. So
So that means you spent money to come all the way from the
yeah,
UK to America.
mhm,
Then you were ready to fight, and then she drops
yeah,
out. I mean,
yeah,
like I said, I've been a boxing fan. I remember she fought Holly Holmes and some,
mhm,
uh, Mary Jo Sanders. She had she fought some top level contenders.
yeah,
And it's sad. I remember a while back. used to talk to her a little bit on social media. She was gonna make a return because I think she's doing some medical issues. She took some step backs,
mhm,
and I mean, if you have a proper excuse like I got injury, something like that, I can understand
Yeah.
that. But just because this is a different fighter, I mean, there's no excuse.
Yeah,
This
and
is
I mean the why I know it wasn't true was because she was still selling tickets the day before for the event. So up till the day before, she was planning on turning up, or at least selling tickets and saying she was. So she didn't turn up, but she was happy to sell her tickets. So I'm not quite sure what happened, but I came all that way and I left my kids to come and fight, and then I had no fight at the end. So it's kind of a bit of a um, bullshit, really.
Yeah, I know it's disappointing, especially you
Hmm.
train, you work hard,
Yeah.
you prepared for this. It was going to be your first boxing match,
Hmm.
and then your opponent decided to drop out for no particular reason.
Yeah.
Um, It's a comment from my man Kid Ellis. Says, how long are you going to compete? So, how long you think you want to stay in this? I mean, like I said, this is tough. I mean, I
Hmm.
saw your last fight. You got your teeth knocked out. Your sometimes your eyes sort of like you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think is the lifespan for you as a fighter?
Well, I think I can't answer that. It's until my body says no more. Um, One thing I've proved is that I'll take a lot of damage, but I heal really quick. I mean, even after the fight with Britain, 11 days later, I had no bruises or anything. Literally, I healed that fast because I'm just like I bruise really easily, and then everything heals really super fast. Obviously, internally you're still healing, but I'm like I heal it really fast, and I'm quite a strong-bodied person. So at the moment, I feel like I'm going to continue for years, but I could fight next time and then say, okay, I can't do another one, but we'll see.
Yeah. This is my man Kid says, she's a mutant, so she's X-23, the daughter of Wolverine. You
That's
bub.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, and also folks, when we have Melanie here, we're gonna jump into her social media in IG. If you want to follow her, her links are in the description of this live. These ladies can use your support. They can use your and like I said, if it's in donating, because as a fighter, donation
Hmm.
does help in the training camp. But
Yeah.
guys, I say this, Melanie, not to offend you, but I say this because there's guys out there a little bit weird. Guys know the picks. Don't
Oh no,
do it.
I had some of them just recent. It was like, and I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, because I do, like I said, a good amount of content myself is bodybuilding, and ladies that become friends with you tell me, guys, this is strange shit. Some guys are strange out there. I mean, you're a fighter. I don't know if I want to see you that shit. You might bust me in your head. That's the thing. So first, we're gonna jump into her social media for a bit here, and you
Mhm.
want to follow her. The link is in the description. And here is why right here where we show it was the fight between you and Britain. Like I said, I can't play the
Yeah.
music too much because and this is was
To the inside comes Melanie Shah. There's a good right hand last from Britain Hart, and Shaw walked right through it. Targeting the body, straight punches the right hand getting through from Hart. Now the right hand from Melanie Shaw in the entry.
Like she normally does.
Right hander getting through from Shaw. Now on the turn is Britain Hart to the body.
yeah, it was like a tough fight.
Yeah.
Y'all really went the distance on that one. I mean, most times
Yeah.
people say that some people don't like women's fight too much because the fact is here's just the hand and ow, it looks like a spider or something. What the
And
dude?
that's not her proper X-ray. Hers actually looked worse because her bone was like snapped completely into the middle bone, so she had to have two
Ooh.
surgeries.
Yeah,
So
because you like I say you walk through the hit, and
yeah,
here's coming your other fights here.
yeah, that's my first one.
That's your first one. Yeah, you were happy. Well, you know your eyes about closed.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
From Birmingham, England, Melanie Shaw. Her first fight in the United States. And entering 1-0 in BKFC. To the inside comes Melanie Shah. Half-time pump snatched by Smith. Big right hand. To the body goes Melanie Shah. Losing seconds, round number 4. Smith again resetting from the outside. Shah again coming to the inside.
I don't know why referee didn't stop that.
Smith covering up. Big shots from Melanie Shah. There is the bell as we move to the 5th and final round.
What a huge finish right there for Shah. She was down. If it had any more time, they might have stopped it.
It's been rugged. It's been grueling. We're about to go the full 5 rounds. There is the bell. Sydney Smith versus Melanie Shah have gone the distance. Melanie Shah.
Huge come.
Now to the inside comes Melanie Shah. There's a good right hand left from Britton Hart, and Shah walked right through it. Targeting the body, straight punches the right hand, getting through from Hart. Now the right hand from Melanie Shah in the entry.
Like she normally does.
Right hand they're getting through from Shah. Now on the turn is Britton Hart. Hart to the body on the overhook. Separation again from where we are. See the outside movement. I believe that was the 30 seconds that Roy chose. The Ryan Perez called for Hart in their corner between rounds 4 and 5. Sticking jab now from Hart.
I think they just saw 2 fall out.
Hart turning up the temperature. Big right hand. Big shots. Clean right hand. Left hand. Another right hand from Britton Hart. Hart trying to finish in the 5th and final round.
Hart wanting to go for that knockout he's been looking for. Here, watch this punch. That 2. And there goes the tooth right there. Beautiful performance right there by Britton Hart.
I mean, I've been watching boxing for a long time, and you ladies, especially anybody in bare knuckle, y'all really take some punishment.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing about the Britton Hart fight was I'd only fought 4 weeks before, so I did 2 bare knuckles back to back. So I already had damage. So that's why after the Britton Hart fight, I looked the way I did, was because it was from 2 fights. Like I still had damage that was healing from the first one. So it was just a little bit damage on top of damage.
Yeah, because you you give yourself your chance, your body to recover a little bit.
Yeah,
and
I did need longer.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the process. It's like anything. Yeah. Most fighters take time. There's concussion protocols. A lot of stuff that is involved. I mean, here's you with your hubby, and y'all so cute together. I mean, and it's good that he supports you. He's helping your corner. You're working with your training. I mean, some people, especially if you're in a relationship, especially with a fighter, sometimes it can stress a relationship. But like I said, y'all been together for 20 years, and he supported you, and you only been fighting for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And here is the Chevelle Hallsback, and here's as she says, what a shameful so-called athlete Hallsback is. Everybody in your own deep circle deep down believes you shit your pants and was worried about me. Everybody been talking about how scared she was to get into the ring with me in the fight, and here's the thing he posted, Chevelle Hallsback was sent my boxing RC and agreed to fight me. However, on the weigh-in day, she decided she couldn't handle me, so she knew I'd kick her ass, so she pulled out like a huge bitch. I left my children to fly to your backyard and fight, so tell me, bitch, who's the pussy? You call yourself a professional? Hell no, you are a laughing stock to the professional. What a pussy. Well, she has one anyway, so but I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
I know, and like I said again, it is tough because, like I said, you took the time off to.
That's it.
Yeah, and just it's not fair. Here we got here. This is a comment from my man KL the Wonder. It says, "You ever thought about wrestling instead of bare knuckle fight? Have you ever watched wrestling? Have you been a wrestling fan?
No. I've watched some wrestling, but I think I'm a bit more I like to punch, so I'm kind of I don't think I do very well.
Well, there's quite a few former MMA fighters have done, like Ronda Rousey,
Yeah.
Valerie Loretta, can't forget what's the name? Shannon, what's the name? I got it back of my neck. She's a fight UFC too for a minute, but Shannon Baszler,
Hmm.
but and also there's been other people come from bare knuckle, like Mike Perry,
Yeah.
Paige Van Zant. Quite a few have jumped on with the bare knuckle because it's really, and also interviewed some ladies from other organizations like the BYB. I've interviewed
Yeah.
Jamie, Driver,
Yeah.
Medina, Monica Medea. I asked her, would they ever think about crossing over between the two divisions? But she said no, because I think the bosses of BYB and the bosses of BKFC just don't really get along.
No. I think you kind of have to stick to where you are, kind of. No mixing.
Yeah, but if you could fight somebody, because there's quite a few ladies in the list. You fought Britain. Who
Hmm.
would you want to fight next for
Well,
PKFC?
I definitely want a rematch with Britt because um, I feel like I didn't get a fair shot because I had one fight and then 4 weeks later I had to fight her. Now, if she's the number one, I should get a fair chance to have a fight camp so I can be ready for her and be actually go into the fight undamaged. So I do believe that I should get a rematch with Britt. But I always wanted to fight Taylor Starling, but unfortunately that keeps getting avoided. Because obviously they want to protect certain people, so I don't get put with them. But yeah, they're the two that I'm after at the moment. Um, but I'm always up to fight anyone, and hopefully someone new comes on the list that maybe is a good tough fight, and then I get to do that.
I think there's someone else. I think there's a Crystal Pittman. They call her Rugged Beauty. She's also, I think she
Yeah,
fights in that same weight class as you, straw weight.
no, she's a heavier weight than me. She
Oh,
fights
she's
at 135.
I thought she was one time. I thought my guess she was one. There was 125. Now because they expanded one straw weight, they do have 145. I interviewed
Yeah,
you know Jessica Borgia. She
okay,
fights in
yeah,
that, in that.
yeah,
And like I said, maybe you might get some new fighters.
yeah.
Like I
I
said,
mean,
it's real. Go ahead.
I'm saying Crystal is like she's 135, and she's lovely, by the way. Like, I've met her a few times, and she's probably one of my most favorite fighters that I've met. She is just like diamond. But yeah, I mean, there's a few options that I fought at the two weights, 125 and 115. There's a few fighters that of interest of me, but I have to see what happens.
Yeah, it's the thing about fighting. You have to contracts, talking to the
Yeah.
managers, and sometimes
Hmm.
when I would grow up, boxing used to be you fought for legacy, you fought for glory. Like you look at guys
Yeah.
like Ali and Frazier, Gotti and Ward, Roberto and Leonard. Now most fighters just fight for, okay, what money I can get. It's just,
Yeah.
that's why I don't really follow boxing much like I used to. Yeah, I do
Hmm.
follow out MMA. One of my favorite fighters is Valentina Shevchenko. She won her fight again, got a title back. I'm a big fan of hers. Just
Yeah.
saw Julianne Peña just won her title back from Raquel Pennington. I don't call her Rocky because she's like Rocky. If I'm a big Rocky fan. I grew up watching the Balboa movies.
Yeah.
I know Rocky Balboa said, "Cut me, big. Oh, yo, where's your gun?" I love the Rocky movies. And then you have named Rocky, and he sits in the corner and
Yeah.
says, "I want to be done. You want to quit? Nah, I can't call you Rocky anymore. That's not the
Yeah.
name you deserve to be called."
Hmm.
We have here, I think we have a friend of yours. This is Jill P, and she says, "Best fight ever." Shout out to Jill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, she says, "Fearless." I mean, thank you, Jill. We appreciate that. Also, this is from my man KL. He says, uh, "I noticed you got the Street Fighter video game in the background. Does that inspires you at times?" Oh yeah, yeah. I used to love playing that when I was a kid. I used to
Yeah.
play the home games, of course, the VR arcades. You know, you play it, or the kids play it, or you?
Well, I'm into my video games. I'm like crazy into them, and so are my boys. So I'm lucky because they want it, and then I play it.
What's
So,
your if you we play Street Fighter? What's your favorite character to play?
so I like to be dowsing,
Or would
probably
you?
because I'm not very good at the moves, so I just use the long arms to just do that.
When I was a kid, it was usually Blanca, or
Yeah.
I'll play the sumo guy because I'm a big dude. We like
Yeah.
yeah, I one of my favorites was also Mortal Kombat. That
Okay.
is a
Yeah. Love my
classic.
stuff.
I
Yeah.
mean, I used to play with Sonya Blade. We used to have tournaments. I was killing my brothers and my nephews with Sonya Blade. So if you killed that bitch. So so yeah. So anyway, like also my man Kia like asked says, you know, shout out to KLA. So, wait a minute, it's good. Look, you actually trying to think sometimes. Uh, what is your training like? So, what's training like? What's the day to day for you as you train and work out?
Well, I do a lot of weights, like quite a lot of weights, and I do a lot of circuit weights as well for my cardio, and then I just do my pads and sparring and some track running. But I do train quite hard, like and because my husband does most of my training, it's kind of all here, so like I never get a break. So like it's kind of like if he wants to wake me up at 6 in the morning and train, or he wants me to train at midnight, I'm there. So I'm always training.
Well, that's good because I know this is a good or bad thing. You got to think about it. That your
Mhm.
husband's your trainer. You say
Yeah,
good night, baby. Except good morning. It's only been like 4 hours since we went to sleep together, and and it's tough as a fighter because
mhm.
your training is difficult. As still again, I do a lot of content about people. Your training, you train for endurance because you have to
Yeah,
fight. Like I think it's like 2 minute rounds for your women compared to the
yeah.
guys. You feel like if like that fight with that Smith girl, you feel like if you had that extra minute, would that made a difference for you?
On the third round when I had her down on the ropes, if I'd have just had 30 seconds extra, they'd have called the fight and I would have won in the third round. So yeah, sometimes that extra bit of time would just allow for a finish. Um, and yeah, on probably on my first fight, I had a few moments like that where there was a lot of holding from my opponent, and I think if she had, because she was wasting a lot of time by holding me, so I think with the extra time, I'd have probably got it over with a lot quicker. Um,
Hmm.
I'm not sure with Brit because the Brit fight went all over the place, but um, we'll never know.
Yeah, because it's a totally different style from bare knuckle from boxing. Even
Yeah,
it has some aspects of maybe a little bit of MMA. Sometimes you have a lot of holding. Boxing is some holding, and then the style is so much different because you know what, you're not wearing gloves. You just got
yeah,
tape, and I
mhm,
know your hands. I know you feel like you want to put your hands in some deep the coldest thing you can find. I mean that
yeah.
experience like that first time when you were fighting and you came home and your hands were like you feel like you already have arthritis. What's that feeling like for you as a fighter?
I mean, I actually coped. My hands coped really well. I mean, I always find that they actually hurt more in gloves because even though they swell up and everything, I think the bones hurt more when I'm in gloves because you've got a looser fist, so there's not as much protection. When you hold your fist really tight, it's very solid. So although it swells and bruises, it it moves, all the bones move less, so it just I find it's more comfortable to hit with. Um, but it just looks worse after.
Hmm. Yeah, because it's different adjustments when you're fighting
Yeah,
from bare knuckle to boxing. You still looking
yeah.
forward to maybe getting to another fight in boxing, or
Yeah, I
just
mean,
after that?
I'm open for it. I'm waiting to see if someone will take it up with me. Um, but the problem is because I'm coming from bare knuckle, even though there might be like more experience in boxing, I think some of them are a bit like it's a bit of a risk because we're very tough in bare knuckle. So I think sometimes they don't want to take that risk. I think that's what happened with why my last opponent pulled out was because she didn't want to risk it and be kind of like shown up. Um, so it's a tough to get an opponent in boxing, to be honest.
Well, like saying is that's the problem what I said again about boxing. There's
Mhm.
the fighters now don't have that same mentality just to fight the fight. I understand you want to make a living,
Yeah,
you want to have make make your money. But the thing is, this is the fight game. You
Yeah.
have to you have to go in there and prove that you're a fighter. Do your best. Work
Yeah.
hard. I mean, not everybody is meant to be a fighter, so that's a good thing. Just go ahead and do something else. But if you
Yeah.
have that fighter mentality, go in,
Hmm.
take an opponent. Sometimes take a
Yeah.
loss. You learn from your losses. Um,
Yeah.
this is from my man KL. He says she's dropping some killer bees on that chick. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's killer.
Hmm.
So, yeah, like I said, do you have sponsorship? Because this thing again, sponsorship does help for your fighters. Any sponsors?
At the moment, no. I mean, I think because bare knuckle is quite new, um, it's really hard to get companies to kind of join up, and then it's harder for me because I'm in the UK, and so it's even harder here. And then because I'm in the UK, but I fight in the US, so it's like it's hard to get a UK company to sponsor me to then fight in the US. So it's really hard. It's been really hard to like kind of gain sponsors. Um, so I'm just like, just when it happens, it happens. Like, I mean, I'm in it to fight. Like, just as you said, this is what I'm doing. A lot of people are in it for money, and yeah, that would be nice. But like, I'm in it because I like to do this, and because it is new, and especially from the UK, I've been able to be like the first the one to do it in the UK, the first British girl to go to America and fight for BKFC, the first one to headline. So I feel like I'm kind of making my own legacy and kind of trailblazing, as they say. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just and then anything else that comes from it will be a bonus.
Hmm. I think you being the first of a woman coming from the UK to fight here and also
Hmm.
have success there, I think someone will be interested, especially your story being a mom with three kids, married.
Yeah,
You know, that's a good example where if I was someone like this, I say, Miss Shaw, we like your story. We're passionate about you. You
yeah,
come in here, you only been fighting for a couple of years. You have a great look to you. You have your mannerisms. We respect you. We like that mentality you have. That I
hmm,
make me think about Mike Tyson. Like I just want to fight. I just want to do it. I just want to bust somebody else. I remember I was watching an interview with Mike. No, he was talking about how we would fight. He said like I get hard when I get fight. He said, say no, I didn't come and just get hard because he got excited by it. I hope he didn't feel you by saying
yeah,
that, but yeah, this thing is if you enjoy what you do and you're
hmm,
excited about it, but it also should be a bonus for you as a competitor.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
what that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. So
yeah, we think if BKFC may want to come over and because the UK is probably a popular place to fight. I know other companies have gone overseas. You think they ever want to come over and try to maybe do a fight event, maybe something like in uh, Birmingham and Yorkshire or London?
well,
That's the biggest place.
I mean, I did my first one in Newcastle in the UK. So
Hmm.
that so but um ever since then I've been fighting in the US. So and it's been very difficult in the UK because there aren't really any other girls doing it. It's been very slow, and so that's why I ended up in America and fighting the girls there. And then really, they're the girls that I'm looking at fighting at the moment because um, they're the ones I want to test myself against. Maybe when the UK or somewhere else, I mean, they're going all over Europe as well. When there's some more girls in some of those locations, then maybe I'll have other places I can go.
Well, I think some women are kind of intimidated by this because it's a different form of fighting. It's only been around for maybe just a little over 10 years,
Hmm.
professionally level. And then you look at organizations like UFC and PFL, and you also look at boxing. Right now I think next month we have one of the biggest fights coming up. That's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Mike
Mike
Tyson,
Tyson,
yeah.
yeah, he gonna kill that boy. I don't be saying Mike
I know.
might be 60, but you don't forget that. I mean, no,
No.
I mean he fought mostly ex MMA fighters, and maybe one person he
Hmm.
lost to was Tyson Fury's brother, who he has boxing background.
Yeah.
But I think if some women have the same courage like you have and do what you do, and say, what, let me take a chance in this. I mean, it's getting popular, getting a lot
Hmm.
more attention. I mean, just try it. I mean, there's some, like I said, you're attractive lady. A lady attractive. Not gonna like you're gonna look like you like some old age box, like you got the one eye and your nose going the other way. Yeah. But it's about how you take care of yourself in the ring, how you move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any fighter that you admired when you were coming up as a kid, or somebody you saw that you really inspired you as a fighter?
You mean all right when I was a kid? Well,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson was always someone that I just thought was like, you can't really get better. I mean, like, he's just like a killer. Like when he was fighting, he was like, someone's gonna die, and that I just like. And then I always just liked him. I just liked his way that he was. He was just didn't give a shit about anything. He wasn't saying the right things and trying to make everyone happy. He would just say what he thought. So he'd say what he wanted to you, and so he didn't take any
Yeah.
shit from anyone.
I remember that fight before he fought Lennox Lewis. It says like he's gonna eat his heart, eat his kids. Our preachers are Allah. So that's just, I mean, Mike. He was one of my favorites. I grew up with like guys with
Yeah.
Ali when he was coming out. Sugar Ray Leonard.
Mhm.
I was a Floyd fan. Roy Jones Jr. Those guys. I mean, I just like I said, I used to be a big boxing fan as a kid, but I kind of fall off a little bit. A lot of those guys are gone. And the sport's still evolving because, like I said, that extra minute, especially in the pro level of women's boxing, the extra minute can make a difference. I've seen fights, especially in women's boxing, where all that woman needs was that 1 minute, and she could have got a fight by TKO or referee stoppage.
Yeah.
And because I think society's not comfortable in combat sports and fight, anything, like they can't use that excuse that it's just 3 minutes, But there's women in MMA that fight 5 minutes. They might fight 3 or 5 minute rounds. They fight 5 minutes. And women, y'all have better natural stamina than men. And that's the truth. If people need to think
I
about
agree.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there should be like a difference in time. I think we should all be on one level as long as everyone agrees. Like you could have a choice, but I think it should be an option because most women would probably want that extra time.
Yeah, because that would have been to maybe win a fight by decision or winning by a knockout. Some fights. It was like I remember I was watching the fight with Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. I think Amanda could have won if she had that extra minute because Katie doesn't have that great of stamina. That's just my opinion. I've seen other fights where all it needs is just that one opportunity. Just 3 or feet, like maybe just 30 or 40 more seconds.
Yeah.
It just would have been gone a different way. So, but folks, we're not gonna hold them much too long because it's evening time in the UK. It's about to be 10 o'clock. I know she has to get a rest. She has to get up and train. Gotta get the kids ready. Gotta get the husband ready. And your family, your rest of your family, did they support you, or like your mom, your dad, any other family members?
Yeah. So well, it's just really my husband's family that I'm around, and they're very supportive. They've always been really supportive, and they always watch my fights, and they've always give advice, and they get really excited every time I have one coming up. So everyone's been just really amazing about it all, and I've been like really lucky.
That's good. That's good that you have that support. Sometimes some people don't understand, especially as I said again, I do content bodybuilding. Some people don't understand what these women get into sport for. Why? Especially the mindset of the everyday people says this is a very masculine sport. Honey, do you want to go in there and get a black eye and your nose busted? I mean, you're such a pretty girl. You shouldn't do that. But the fact is, you have a passion for something, and you want to follow your passion. You should have that right. No one tells a man that he's, if you want to follow a passion, hey, you can't do it. But you should have that same right. Even though you're a mother, you have a husband who supports you, stand by you, your kids love you. I know sometimes your babies like say, "Mommy, I don't want to kiss you because I know you got the black eye and the left you like that, but we love you. I give you a big hug." But it's good to have that support and that people that stand by you, friends and family. If you like anything, what would you want out of the sport, especially for your future?
I think the main thing I'd like is, I think I'd just like a little bit more acknowledgement of like that when I fight, especially, is that I fight the way the men fight. Like they always go on about how much damage I take in my fights, and they always talk about it as if it's like negative. But when the guys fight and their faces are all like this, they're all like, oh, they're a warrior. But then I always have to defend myself and go, it's fine. I healed up. I'm good. And I just wish that there was a little bit more like the men do it like this and she's doing like this. And so they're both doing the same sport and kind of respecting it. Like, I mean, after the Bret and Hart fight, like my picture went everywhere and like went all over the internet and loads of people taking the piss of how I looked. And then there was men that fought on the same card that looked exactly like I did and no one said anything. And I just thought like, why are you judging me like this because I'm a woman doing it and I'm getting damage? But like, so are the men doing it, and it's just like, give me a break. That's kind of, I would like that to change. The way they just saw me as a fighter, not it's a woman, she can't get damage, and just like disrespect me like that.
Well, the thing is it takes society is not comfortable or will never be comfortable with the idea of women in combat sports.
Yeah.
As MMA. Some people say that women don't see not a lot of knockouts. Women don't have that power like men do. Sometimes some guys don't get knocked out to the fight. And I think it's just it kind of, especially here in America. America's supposed to be we're just young. Everybody have we're old evangelists. We're a religious country. We're probably the most stuck up country in America, in the world. No one, we all think we're supposed to be more open minded, but we're not. We're not. We're set to ideas of what men and women's purpose. Like I do some things I think some women should do, some men should do. But then if you're capable, right now we have an election going on in our country where we have a woman who is more intelligent, who probably can do a job better, and we have an idiot. And that's sad. And people are going to support the idiot, where you have this woman who understands how things work, who has a plan. Or you just want to hear somebody talking about dogs and cats getting eaten. That's sad. It's just some people, it's just sad. It is sometimes. Here we get from Jill P. And she says, a fighter is a fighter, regardless if man or woman. It's very empowering sport. Yeah, I think that people might think like this. Go back to the Rocky movie, like in Rocky, when Rocky first Rocky movie, when Rocky's on the stool said, "Cut me, Mick, cut me," and and then, I don't know if everyone wants to see a woman get cut with a blade so she can be able to see from a busted eye. But as a fighter, you should have that right to go in there, put yourself in a position where you want to prove yourself, not just as a woman, but also as an athlete. And you are an athlete. And like I said again, doing this content on y'all ladies, I don't do as much like I used to, but I get to learn stuff when I get opportunity to talk with some of you women. It's just a lot of respect. Oh no, the other guy got to say something to you. Yeah, it's the other guy. Hello, Melanie. I've been kind of just listening to you. I really like you. I like the fact you're in sport, anarchy and chaos. And Melanie, before I go, I want to tell you something. Melanie. You are beautiful. I don't know. I tell him, hey, stop that. I gotta see a specialist about that. So, like I said, we're gonna hold you long. You got to get ready, got to get set, got training to do. Hoping we get the opportunity to see you fight. If not this year, next year. If you're a fighter out there, get your hell up, get your courage up. Step in this ring with woman. Prove yourself. Get your man up or your woman up.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm here.
She's ready to go. She likes to fight. It's like the great rock bull says like this. It's not how hard you hit. It's how hard you take the hits and keep moving forward. That's what you keep moving forward. So we really let you go. Have anybody want to shout out?
Just want to shout out to everyone that's still supporting me doing this and just like giving me like respect and love. We really appreciate it. Respect to my husband, obviously, because he's supporting me through all this and training me, and my family, my children for putting up with all this and just being amazing, and just to everyone who's just interested in what I'm doing, and even to the haters, because they're talking about me, so I must be doing something right.
See, that's the thing about haters. They hate so much, but we care so little. And the thing is, while you waste your time hating on me, hey, I'm doing some stuff that you can't do or you don't want to do. Like my man, this is from a quote from my favorite comedian, Bernie Mac. If people don't like you, son, fuck them. That's all it is. Just fuck them. You know, Brady Mac,
Yeah.
rest in peace, great comedian. So, folks, we'd like to thank Melanie for coming through. We wish you all the best. Wish you best of luck. Hoping there's some people who have some courage. Get your man up. Grow some testicle fortitude. Women don't have testicles. But like that. But step up. This is a lady who wants opportunity to prove herself. If you are someone in the UK area who maybe, hey, if you got a fighter and they want to test themselves, this is somebody they want to test. I mean, take the opportunity. You never know. This might be your future. You might see yourself going to some like the BKFC or even going to another federation, whichever way you want to go. Just take that chance. Sometimes opportunities there. You just got to reach for it. So, Melanie, we thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Like
Thank
one of
you.
my favorite quotes is from a movie Batman Begins. It says, "You never have to." Because I remember when Jim Gordon said to Batman, he says, "I never got a chance to thank you." He says, "You never have to." Because I do this because I give y'all ladies, if it's a female bodybuilder, a boxer, MMA fighter, opportunity to share the story, I'm happy to have you on. My challenge is about giving y'all ladies recognition and respect. I want to thank my man KL, the one for coming through, Jill P. Anybody watch this video, follow, subscribe, follow Melanie in her path. If you're interested as a sponsor, reach out with genuine interest. Don't be that weird guy. She has a husband. Plus, she fights with bare knuckles, guys. Bare knuckles. I couldn't do that. My hands. I mean, I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I couldn't do what you do. But I respect her time. I wish her best of luck, and I hope a great future for you and your family.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, folks, thank you for coming through. I appreciate your time. Smell our way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Combat Sports Talk. I got it right that time. Like, subscribe, don't like, subscribe. Thank you. Have a good evening, good night.